Hello, my name is Cettina. I am a QHHT practitioner and I'm doing a series of interviews to introduce my colleagues working in London. The aim is to help you to find the right practitioner for you and to know more about QHHT and its various aspects. In today's interview, we will meet Chiho Sharp.
I haven't prepared questions, but I'll see how it comes out. Yeah, okay.
Let your higher self talk.
Yeah.
Welcome, Chiho, and thank you for accepting to release this interview for us.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
And first of all, we want to let know people where your name is from and what is the correct pronunciation, because maybe I'm not saying it right.
Okay.
Give us some clue about your name.
Well, my name is Chiho. That's a Japanese name. So Chiho is my name. Chiho. Yeah. Nice to meet you.
And you're Japanese. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Japanese.
So how long have you been in London for?
Oh, London, since 2007. No, London in 2010.
2010.
Yeah, 2010. I moved to London in 2010.
I
moved to the UK, in 2007.
In UK in 2007.
2007.
Good.
Before that, I was in Taiwan. And before that, I was in Japan. And then before that, I was in the US.
Well, you traveled a lot.
Yes.
That's a good life experience.
Yes, it is.
And how long have you been a QHHT practitioner?
Well, since 2013. I took the level 1 in 2013. Yeah, that was in May, I think.
That's a good length of time, isn't it?
Yes, it's been 5 years already. It's amazing.
Tell us a bit about you, about your journey with QHHT.
Okay, QHHT. That was like, I think it sounded like I was brought into doing QHHT because all the series of like synchronicity happened. And then I wasn't gonna take it, but I was sort of like, let to take the level 1 that time because my children were very small still, but everything just worked out so that I could go out and take a week course in Oxfordshire. And then I took the level 2 in 2014, and then so all this like synchronicity happened at the same time for that level 2 course as well. And that's when I met, that's when Dolores came for the last time in UK. So I was very lucky to see her before she left.
Tell us a bit about Dolores. How do you remember her?
Oh, she's very warm and everything. But the first thing I remember is like when I first met Dolores was when I was in New York, and there was a UFO conference. I was still in my 20s, and then I went to the UFO conference, and after I came back, I got so depressed I couldn't go out for a week. Okay. And then I felt like I wanted to die. I just didn't want to stay here. And then after I met Dolores, like talking, on the stage, and then I was like, I never had that sort of feelings, and then I didn't know why I was having those feelings. But after 20 odd years, I found out why. Because, from the QHHT session, I was told that I'm from the same star as Dolores was from. So maybe I was starting to remember where I was coming from and then what I need to do on Earth.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So now everything sort of came together after many years. So then I did QHHT session for myself as well.
Yes.
So every time I'm learning more about myself. and then also from the clients' QHHT sessions, well, up there, they're all connected. So they tell me, like about myself, because they can access the Akashic record, or they might have known me from the past in the universe. And they were telling me like, oh, you were this, you're that, you were here for this. I was like, I didn't really pay attention to those things, because the spirits can say those things, but they weren't the spirits. They said they were different, because they were just pool of a knowledge that are stored in the universe, that where we can all access, which Dolores come up with through QHHT session. So I say, and so all these different clients come to my session, but they all say the same thing from different sources. So I'm starting to believe that maybe the story is true, because they all connect. Yes.
That's great.
It's
So
fascinating.
So you managed to collect a lot of information about yourself.
Yes, I have. Yes.
And your mission and stuff like that.
Yes. I was very skeptical at first, even though I was I became a QHHT practitioner, because I grew up in Japan. I was surrounded by a lot of psychic people, like a medium or like channelers, and they used to tell me, a lot of things, because they could see the spirits and they will send me messages. And they're a bit disturbing sometimes, and then so I didn't really pay attention to those things, but I was very curious. So out of curiosity, I wanted to become a QHHT practitioner. But now I'm accessing the information from the universe, from the higher dimensions, and from different star systems and different galactic federations and council members, and then it's fascinating. They all seem to know me, know my higher self, to be correct.
And now you are happy to hear this information. You're not skeptical or scared anymore.
No, before they told me oh, you blocked yourself, not knowing, because I didn't want to find out anything about myself, because I've done something wrong. There's no right and wrong, but I thought it would be nice, good for other people, other souls, but that turned out to be something, cause negativity in their development. Because basically what they were saying, I'm master of using magic.
Yeah.
So I use the magic to expedite the process of soul's growth or something, soul's development, which was against the law of energy, a law of universe. So I'm here to correct those things. It's quite deep, actually. And then, so for that reason, because I didn't want to know anything about it, I just wanted to have a fresh start. So I closed myself, not knowing anything. But on my back of my head, I was like, oh, you were this and you're that. I could hear my voices around here, but I was ignoring it. But the universe says oh, you need to unblock everything by the end of December this year, because all sorts of things are going to happen next year. So you need to be using my true ability to bring more light, or to bring the changes in the society.
Okay.
That's amazing, isn't
it? So obviously now I'm curious, what is going to happen next year?
I have no idea, but people need to wake up. So they have all the blockages. So they were saying you need to. We all have a keys, QHHT practitioners got a key. I'm wearing the key. Keys to open, unlock some blockages. Okay. So through the session, we're unblocking the people's blockages. So that's what we'll be doing. So by unblocking their, karma or whatever they have there, whatever their beliefs, they can be free. So they can access the true information from the universe. So they can create. They can become the creator again. So what's going to happen is that the changes in the society and medicine, and then education and politics, and then all sorts of things, everything, energy, Yeah, so I meet all these clients who are to make the changes. So it sounded like I was a teacher in a magic school where Dolores was teaching at the same time, and then all the students who I was teaching there are here on Earth to make changes. So some people have still a lot of blockages. So I came here to block their blockages to
Okay.
help, the students. So some people are like in charge of energy. Some people are like in charge of changing the religion or belief system, and some people are like here to change politics and then government and all sorts of things, agriculture, health, medicine, and all sorts. It's amazing. So once they go into the deep hypnotic state, all these clients have memories of the lives they were doing exactly that. So it's amazing. So they're meant to bring that knowledge in and then onto the earth and then implement it. So it's fascinating. But after they wake up, like, yeah, right, it's not true. It was like it was my dream, you know? So they don't believe in it. So I need to sort of like unblock it. It's like, just believe you were there. You were doing it already. And you're here to do it. So that they need a bit of encouragement after the session. That's what I believe, After the session, that's it. It's not the end of it. That's the beginning of their lives. Because once they have the session, they've unblocked everything. So now they have to start the new life or something.
Working.
Yeah, they have to get on with it and start working. Manifest.
So how do you recognize that the person that you have as a client it was your student? Do you recognize it from the session or do you know it beforehand?
No, I don't know it beforehand, but I'm told, oh, your student will be coming. I'm told, and then so when they come, they tell me how I used to be in the school. I used to throw a broom or something. I was quite strict.
Okay.
I was torturing the students in a way,
In a good way, I hope.
Yeah. So yeah, some clients got some memories of me, teaching in that universe. So once I took, because this person came and then he said, well, you took us students to this excursion. But it was like a ice star. It was all covered in ice. So I left all the students there, and I left, and I told them like, you need to find a way to come out of that star. Yeah, I know. I was like, no, I don't remember it. I was quite strict and then very creative in a way.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
And no, I'm really curious about his work. Have you already seen some of the students that you have unblocked starting to work and doing stuff for the world?
Oh yes, yes, definitely. So a lot of students have been quitting their current jobs, and then they become more creative, and then they are more in tune with their higher selves. Okay, this is an interesting thing because a lot of people are very psychic in a way, like they're very sensitive, so they were listening to the voices. But the universe said the voices you're hearing are from the lower vibrational beings. It's like, in the lower realm. It's like a fourth dimension, the maximum is fifth dimension. But now we need to go up above it. So it's still like a fourth and the fifth dimension. They're still like close to the human beings, and then they're a bit. They have their issues as well.
Yes.
They like to manipulate humans.
Yeah.
Those things that are with the reptilians and all these aliens.
Yes.
And then they want to stay on Earth, on the third dimensional world. But now, like after 2012, we were like, we can access to the higher vibrational, world and then dimensions. So one of the students, not just one, but they, can contact the higher dimensional self, like higher selves, because we all have different higher selves and different dimensions. So like people who are hearing, like, people who were doing channelers and channeling and then mediumship, they were listening from the mostly from the fourth and the fifth. So they said, like, forget about those voices and visions you might see. Just forget it, and then just in tune and listen to your heart, and then just knowing is the one you're gonna connect with the highest ones, the higher selves. So they decided to just switch the concept, the old concept, and then now one of them can access to the 144th dimensional being, which is the galactic council members who look after, like, billions of galaxies.
Wow.
Yeah, but it just happens in accidents, so I shouldn't be saying that too much, because human beings not ready to listen to that knowledge or something. But anyway, yeah, so it's like they're moving up to the, like shifting their consciousness to a higher dimensional level. Yeah, so according to what they need to do in this life, they can access the information from certain dimensional beings. But some dimensional beings means like themselves, their future selves. Like, for example, maybe I shouldn't be saying those things, but my children, because I didn't mean to do this, but I've been doing the QHHT sessions in my house. So this energy is affecting my children as well. So they started contacting their own higher selves as well. But the universe said these children from not like, recent children are already in tune. They don't have like, too much blockages, so they can access it much easier. And then just to be in the environment of higher vibrational energy can just awaken them. It's amazing.
Wow.
So when they learn it, like instruments or whatever, they can access the information and they will be able to play it without much practice. I know. So all these superhuman beings being born to change the world on Earth.
Amazing.
It is amazing, isn't it? So it's like a ripple effect. If one person becomes aware of things and then makes changes in them, it just, reverberates. I mean, like, it spreads out. Yeah, that's what I'm like, seeing and experiencing at this moment after I started practicing QHHT. Yeah.
I mean, you must be very happy with what you're doing, very proud also of the result, in a good way, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a way, yes.
Yes, yes. So, no, I mean, the things that you told us today are just mind-blowing, and I feel like, I feel lightheaded now, like if I'm floating.
Yes.
I look forward to put this video online so that many other people will start to open up to these kind of things. Yes. And especially, I hope that through this video, many more of your students will be in some way attracted from what you are saying, because I think that when something resonates inside you, then this is because probably there is something. So if this video is resonating with these people, probably it's because they have to come to you.
Yes, exactly. They said they only send the clients who are like, who have something with me. There's always connection.
Yes. So
I would. Chance.
Sorry?
Nothing happens by chance.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful that we have done this video today, and I look forward to see the results.
Yeah, thank you very much.
And thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye.